All right, what's going on, guys? So Amaranth tweeted out this thread a couple days ago. I don't know if any introduction is needed for Amaranth, but she's one of the biggest streamers on Twitch. But apparently she's been dealing with some crazy stalker for a couple months now. And reading through this thread, it was honestly pretty insane. So I wanted to share it. It gathered quite a bit of attention. I'm not going to sit here and read it word for word because it's like 20 tweets long. So if you really want to see it exactly the way it is, it's up on Twitter. But I think it's better if we just summarize it, hit all of the important points, and then have a bit of a discussion. So here's the story. So apparently this guy traveled all the way from Estonia, coming all the way here to America, to Amaranth's actual city, and then he was staying in a hotel room in her city that had a direct line of sight to her P.O. box, which right away, this already sounds absurd, right? Like, I guess he had like a whole setup there in the hotel room with like a telescope pointed at her P.O. box. Like, we've literally seen that in movies, right? Like, this is straight up something out of like a serial killer movie or something. And then not only that, he would make a daily trip to the Starbucks that was right next to her P.O. box as well, and I guess just wait there hoping that she's going to show up one day. And apparently this whole routine went on for 44 days. And the reason that we know all of this information is because he was live on Twitch the whole time. And I guess he kept getting banned over and over again, and he just kept making new accounts and just live streaming his day of stalking her. She seemed to have some sort of communication with him through the Twitch chat, maybe other messages and stuff as well. I don't really know. And I guess, he was in her chat like, hey, I'm outside your P.O. box. Why don't you come over here and meet me? Or, whatever weird shit he said. And then apparently when she said, no, like, I'm not going to do that, that's weird or whatever, he responded with, and this is a direct quote, liar, liar, fiance. So the fact that he's referring to her as his fiance kind of gives you a look into the mental state of this guy. Like, this is straight up from the Joker movie, you know what I mean? Like, in his head, I guess because he talks to her on Twitch chat, I don't know, he might have donated a lot of money and stuff as well. But somehow this guy has come to the conclusion that this is his wife. And also, a very important detail that needs to be included is apparently he sold everything he owns back home. Like, he sold his car, he sold his house. He has nothing left. He took all that, took all the money, and came here to America to, stalk this girl. And I think that makes it like 100 times worse. Like, that makes it way more serious, right? Because he has nothing to go back to. Like, this is kind of like the final straw. He's here for her, and if that doesn't work out, I don't know what's gonna happen, you know what I mean? Like, that gets kind of scary. This is really like his last resort in life. Oh, and also, I'd like to add this. She put up a picture of the guy. It's very censored. There's no face. I think he might be nude. I don't know. He's like dancing in the hotel room. Super weird picture. I can just tell he's weird from the picture. I don't even need to see his face or anything. I'm not gonna put it in the video. She said that apparently he used to send her like Silence of the Lambs type psycho videos, and I mean, if you see the screenshot, you can kind of just tell, like, yeah, something's off here, you know what I mean? Like, you just kind of get that feeling. So anyways, it all came to an end a couple days ago when apparently he pulled up to her actual house. This is all on live stream as it's going down, so she's watching it happen. And I guess after about 30 minutes of him creeping around the house outside or whatever, he tried to break in, and then she called the cops, and then she says they weren't very cooperative. We'll touch on this later, but they took forever to get there, but eventually they did come there, and they have now arrested the guy, and that's pretty much where she cuts it off. She says she doesn't want to give out any more further details. There's probably some legal stuff going on here, of course. So that's a basic summary of the situation. Like I said, it's up on Twitter if you want to read it in her exact words and see all the details of it, but let's talk about this a little bit, man, because this is crazy, right? First of all, I think we all can agree that this is absolutely insane. It reads like something out of an actual movie, right? Like, there are some real freaks out there in the world. When you make the type of content that she does, I think you're more inclined to attract these type of people. Not blaming her or anything. I'm not saying she's doing anything wrong in this situation. Like, go get that money. Cool. But I think one of the negatives that comes with that type of stuff is that it takes a certain type of individual to give her money for doing that in the first place. And in that demographic of individuals, I think you're more inclined to find like mentally unstable people like this. Honestly, actually, I'd say it's not even necessarily just like hot tub streamers or whatever. I think it's really just a problem that affects female streamers more in general. I've never heard of a story really of any male streamers dealing with it quite on this level. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think any psycho girl is gonna fall in love with me from my Twitch chat and stalk me down IRL. I mean, shit, what you looking like? Because, you know, it's a whole different dynamic, you know what I mean? No, I'm just playing. That's weird. Unless, well, you know, well, never mind. Anyways, I think the bigger aspect of it here, right, is not necessarily that it's happening, because I'm not sure what you can really do to prevent it from happening, because I can think of like 3 big female streamers who all have this same problem, and they don't make like, you know, hot tub content or anything like that. They're just girls. They exist on the internet, and this is something that happens to them. Because when you're on Twitch, you don't know who you're talking to, right? Like, I could be talking to anybody in the chat. Like, I have no idea really who these people are. Like, they're just like a username. I've never met them. I don't know what they look like. Like, it's just random people, you know what I mean? Because in real life, you know, you can make better judgments. You know, you can avoid certain people or whatever. But in a Twitch stream, like, you're talking to everybody. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's kind of equal. So I don't really blame it on Twitch. I don't really blame it on the streamers. There's really no one to blame it on, you know? Well, other than the weirdos, of course, you know what I mean? But there are weirdos. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is. I don't think you can just get rid of the freaks. So I think the problem more so is that the police don't really seem to take it very seriously, because every time I've ever seen like a streamer complain about this, they always say the same thing, that like they tell the police what's going on, even in situations like this where they have so much evidence. Like, just reading through all that, there's a lot of evidence there. I would think there's more than enough evidence to where you should probably be taking it seriously. Like, this is not just some guy trolling online, you know what I mean? But I hear every time that when they go to the police that they just don't take it seriously, and the reason they give is always the same. They say that they can't act upon this information until the stalker actually tries to do something in person. But obviously, that's a pretty dangerous game to play, you know what I mean? Like, you can't wait until the person tries to do something, because then it might be too late, you know what I mean? So I just don't really understand that logic, especially in cases like these where there's just so much evidence. Like, the guy's live streaming what he's doing. He's not hiding it whatsoever. Like, I don't think you have to wait until he does something before you act on it, because, you know, there's no guarantee that you're gonna be able to intervene in time, you know what I mean? Something bad really could end up happening because, you know, they aren't taking it seriously enough. So it's a really unfortunate situation, and I don't really think there's anything people can do to avoid it, you know what I mean? I guess the only thing you could do is like not stream, of course, but these people aren't like encouraging these freaks to come find them or anything. Like, nobody wants some weirdo outside their window, you know what I mean? Like, no one wants that. It's just gonna happen, you know what I mean? It's just kind of how the world is, you know? There's weird people out there. So I think the least that we could do is have the police start taking it a little bit more seriously before something bad happens, you know what I mean? Usually, unfortunately, that's kind of the way things go in the world, you know what I mean? It takes something really bad to happen before any change is really made, and it sucks that that's the way it is, but, you know, if history tells us anything, that's just the way things are. So I don't know, I just thought this was a crazy story. I wanted to talk about it a little bit. I guess the situation is handled for now, but, you know, we'll see what happens in the future. It's not going to be the last time something like this happens, that's for sure. So hopefully better steps are taken in the future, because one day we really might get like a crazy story, you know what I mean? And that's not what anybody wants. So anyways, that's it for the video. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure to like, rating, subscribe if you're not already. Follow me on Twitter, links in the description down below. Check out my last video if you missed it. It was this video about this, like, I guess Karen in the gym who tried to like expose this trainer for being a creep, but in the end she really just like ended up exposing herself. It was really dumb, but also pretty funny as well. So check that video out if you missed it. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good day and peace out.